So I read somewhere that, I don't know if it was right after SC or during SC, but you read an article about Kevin Smith and how they clerked for like $27K or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you went out and made like kind of your, like maybe you've done some stuff before, like your first like kind of real indie feature.
Sure.
For like 30 grand or something like that.
Yeah. So out of film school, you know, you're kind of thrown out of film school and it's like, okay, figure it out.
Right.
And so I did some odd jobs. I worked at Cross Colors and Crowd Canal for about a year. And then started working at some indie record company. Worked for Ernie Singleton at his indie label, as well as when he was running Ruthless Records after Easy died. And during that time, I knew, you know, at some point the rule for me was specifically for being a director. The only way you become a director is you have to direct something. You have to make it. And I would do little things like create scenes for movies that I saw, or I would get the script of a movie I knew was coming out early, and I would take a scene and just shoot the scene. And once the movie came out, I could kind of compare what I did and what the director did. And so there was stuff like that, and I would just kind of practice because I knew I didn't necessarily ever want to do a short. I knew I was going to try to do a feature because there was something about me wanting to do feature films. There's as I would read, I would always find out that it's that second act, which is the longest portion of your film, where that's where the mud happens, and that's where you don't, you know, if you don't know how to pull that off, you can kind of lose people. So I knew I wanted to do a feature, and at some point it was like, okay, I want to do a feature. How much is it going to cost?
Right,
always because this is not when you had an iPhone. This is 16 millimeter or 35, but definitely knew it was going to be 16 millimeter because that's what I learned at USC.
Right.
I knew how to thread a movie camera and so forth and so on. So I knew how to actually make a film. And so then it became about how much is it? And I remember there was a weekend, or, you know, you always read the calendar section on the weekends, LA Times.
Yeah.
And there was an article about Kevin Smith, and he basically gave his recipe for how he made his movie Clerks.
Yeah.
And I think he did his for $28,000 or something like that. And he basically put it down, as well as Spike Lee also had the books where he showed it. But Kevin Smith was closer to the money that I thought I could get together. Yeah. And so I saw that. I saw what it took. I said, okay, I'm going to take this article. I remember peeling it out, put it in a plastic sleeve, and said, this is going to be the recipe for me doing a film. And basically started figuring it out, writing the script. I took a job as a messenger because I knew whenever you're not working, you can just do what you wanted to do, and nobody's. So I took a job as a messenger, and I even told my boss, as soon as I finish my script, I'm done. I'll see you later.
Right.
And so I did sat and wrote the script, and at some point, went and got the recipe. Started selling everything I had. I remember selling Laserdiscs and Blu-ray. Whatever I had was. I even think I sold a couple of drum machine and this and that, which I wish I had. But it also got, my mom gave me some money, this and that. She gave me a credit card to go get the film. Kodak became a really good friend of mine. They would give me short ends, all of that stuff. And ended up shooting the movie. I always laugh because I was a little over budget. I shot it for about $32,000.
That's crazy.
It was $4,000 over budget. But ended up shooting the movie, a movie called One of Us Tripped, and was able to show it at the Baldwin Theater.
And that was 97.
Yep.
I just love how your mom and your parents just supported you all the way.
I think that's
huge, man.
My mom's still with us, and every now and then we have that conversation. Their support of all the arts of anything. And my sister wanted to do basketball. As soon as she wanted to do basketball, she was in basketball leagues. She would go to Norm Nixon basketball least, Magic Johnson.
She played at SC, right?
She played at SC for 4 years, 2 years with Lisa Leslie.
Oh, wow.
And my mom and my dad were just kind of whatever we showed interest in. And it was, and then to this day, you kind of see the value of what that was.
Having a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old currently, I'm going to definitely learn from your parents and really try to be that kind of parent for my kid, because I think
we're the same way, with my kids. Me and my wife, we just make sure whatever they show an interest in, here you go.
Because you never know.
You never know. You never know. Yeah, because sometimes we just want them, to make a living out the house.
And you got a distribution deal for the film, correct?
Yes, I was able to sell the film. Xenon Entertainment, if I remember correctly. I sold it for around, I think that's what I sold it for, $35,000. So I got the money back, made a little bit of a profit, and went on to make another film, which is the movie that put me in debt. So